Are we talking the Clippers here?
We are.
And the Oklahoma City Thunder?
We are.
Listen, I picked the Oklahoma City Thunder to come out of the West.
You're in a tough spot here.
And I'm in a very, very tough spot because my heart is with the Clippers. I'm not going to lie to you. I wouldn't
heart
mind,
overhead.
Yes. I wouldn't mind seeing the Clippers go to the NBA Finals.
Okay.
I would love it. But I still have to go with OKC.
What?
In this particular
you just
matchup.
picked the Clippers on Friday. You picked the Clippers to win the West.
No. Remember?
What?
Remember, y'all can't do that to me. Can't do that to me.
You can't do that to me.
No, what we said was we got emotional and we talked about how if it were today, that's what we said. That's what we said. You had picked San Antonio to come out of the West. I picked OKC. But we talked about that particular day. All right, and that's all we were doing because we were having fun with that. Don't sit there and switch up. Here's the deal.
I can do that to him.
No,
he's doing it to me.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because listen, we're all over the place with the West, Skip. Because if you're talking, you're talking about.
I'm right where I was.
Well, listen,
I'm where I was 6 months ago. To 12 months ago.
Well, but that's because you're always speaking with your heart when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs.
It's with my head.
Me personally, I think San Antonio's got the best shot to beat Miami. But I think their kryptonite is OKC. When I look at the Los Angeles Clippers, even though I think they can give everybody a run for their money, my problem with the Clippers is free throw shooting on the part of DeAndre Jordan, a person that I literally and firmly believe is the best big man in the game if he could hit free throws. The problem is if he can't hit free throws, you can't really have him in there against teams that are efficient come fourth quarter because he's going to go to the free throw line and he's not going to deliver for you. He averaged 14, almost 15 rebounds a game in the first round series, almost 5 blocks a game in the first round series. The boy is big time. The problem is his free throw shooting. And against OKC, Skip Bayless, with a Durant, with a Westbrook and these guys, regardless of the mistakes that you're going to make, Chris Paul going up against a Russell Westbrook and that athleticism, that could be problematic. But the other big issue is DeAndre Jordan and his ability to hit free throws because if nothing else, OKC can hit theirs. And that is why I have to look at them in a 7-game series. I can see this going 7, but I still would have to go with OKC in 7.
So I jumped out of bed this morning thinking, this is really going to be fun because I'm going to go with the Thunder in this series. And my man, Stephen A. Smith, he has boarded the Clippers bandwagon. And now I can only look back at Saturday night and think, well, if the Clippers had won by 25 at home, you'd probably still be riding the bandwagon. But it was a close game.
I expected it to be close.
Okay, who didn't? I thought it'd go to overtime. And it wasn't like end of the world kind of close. The Clippers pretty much won, I thought, fairly convincingly, even though it got a little bit hairy late. But they were clearly a little better than Golden State. I do not think they're better than the Oklahoma City Thunder, so I'll at least go you one better on the pick. I got Thunder in 6 games, and I'm tempted to go 5 games because I think they're that much better. In fact, I'll just do it. I'm on the record. You've ticked me off already. 5. Thunder in 5 games. And if we keep going long enough, I might pick a sweep in this. And let's be balanced about this. Obviously, Saturday night, the Oklahoma City Thunder got a huge break because the NBA, shockingly and wrongly, tossed out Zach Randolph for a Game 7. A Game 7?
Game 7.
For a little push in the face of Steven Adams? I mean, give me a break. I thought Jeff Van Gundy was sensational on air, just saying, please rethink it. Just back off and say, we overreacted last night, and you were strong about it, too. But they didn't because they won't. Once they dig in, they are not going to change their mind because Pandora's box would fly open then. But in this case, it was a big break for the Thunder. But I'm going to tell you what I saw on Saturday night and why I will pick the Thunder in 5 games against Chris Paul and company. I'm going to say it again. To me, the man in Oklahoma City, to me, again, on Saturday night, was not Kevin Durant. It was his little buddy, his little running mate. Russell Westbrook just dominated that basketball game. Now, he can be the biggest reason they win and the biggest reason they lose. And for a while, it looked like he was going to be the reason they lost because he had 4 turnovers in the first quarter alone. And Scott Brooks, to his credit, sat him down, cooled him off, redirected him, and shoved him back into the fray. And does he not play with a rage to win? Look at this line, Stephen A. 27 points, 16 assists, and a team leading 10 rebounds, including 4 more offensive rebounds, where I think he's better on the offensive glass than anybody on that team is. In fact, I'm starting to think he's a better rebounder than Ibaka is, who had only 4 total rebounds in this game. Russell Westbrook is a terror, and I do not think Chris Paul can deal with Russell Westbrook. And I'm going to say this again. The best thing that happened to Kevin Durant was that headline, Mr. Unreliable. It took him out of the fear of failure category into the rage to win category. It made him angry. It made his teammates refocus and have his back and say, this is outrageous. How dare you?
It was outrageous.
Well, okay, I don't think it was. But again, I think in the big picture, that headline deserves some credit for refocusing this basketball team and letting them take care of business that they surely should have taken care of, I thought, 2 or 3 games before this. But obviously, Durant and Westbrook were awful up to that point. I don't think they're going to be awful from this point forward, and I think they will be way too much for your used-to-be Clippers that you used to love.